Hello, my name is Renata Brown. Welcome to EM-Spire Magazine, where the E stands for entrepreneurs and the M stands for motivators. This is a platform where we bring you the entrepreneurs, the authors, the designers that you want to hear from. We have a special guest today. We have Tammie Thompson of Beautiful Boutiques. She is also a community activist. How are you today, Tammie?
I'm doing great, Renata. Thank you so much for having me today.
We're so glad to have you. So I'm going to start off right on the top. Okay, it's beautiful. So tell us about beautiful and the things, how that name came about.
Yes, absolutely. So, Beautiful Boutique LLC is a sewing company that I created. The name actually came from me wanting to inspire others to simply be themselves. So, about 20 years ago, I created my first dress, and I was so in love that it was an art that I created. So, it always inspired me that it was something that I wanted to do. I always had a passion for fashion. So, that led me to create my business and pursue my business endeavors with the name, which is Beautiful Boutique. So it basically is to inspire others to simply be themselves and be the best version of themselves.
So tell me, who were your style influencers?
So as far as my style influencers, I would probably say my oldest daughter, Jasmine Elmore. She's very creative as well. She can take a some an item like a T-shirt, and she has a way with scissors. She can cut the shirts up and design them. So I always admired her for being so creative with her brand of fashion as well. So if I have to say someone, I would most definitely say my daughter, Jasmine Elmore.
Okay, so she's following in your footsteps.
Yes,
Awesome.
she is.
Yeah, I've watched a couple of YouTube videos. I cut up one shirt. I don't know. I don't think it's gonna be on the runway anytime soon.
You never know.
I'm
Just keep
pretty
it.
sure of that. So, if you could have anybody model your clothes, anybody that you know or a celebrity, who would that be?
I would say I have a quite a few family and friends that I would trust. I've actually done a Rip the Runway show with my clothes. So I have a few people in mind. They're just as famous to me as any other celebrity that are known worldwide. So I trust them and I value them so much that I would actually take my chance with a lot of my family. My daughter Jasmine Elmore being one for sure. But I most definitely would go with my family and friends that are very dear to me.
Well, that's nice. Keep it in-house for
Mhm.
sure. So I'm excited because you are not only a designer with a passion and definitely strong family and community ties, but you have started some organizations to give back, and that's truly what it's all about. So we want to talk about each of those organizations and your projects, and we're going to start with yours. So I understand that's an acronym.
Yes. So yours, it stands for Young, Optimistic, Unwavering, Rewarding Success Training. And basically, this project was created because something very dear to me. When I was younger, I always wanted to go to college, but my mom, she wasn't able to afford college. So, um, once I was able to get older in my career and my job was able to provide for me to go back to school, this was something that I wanted to do. And what the project does is basically it provides young adults the education and the resources to help them prepare for their career world. So we talk about personal branding, we talk about interview prepping and networking and the follow up after the interview process. We talk about financial literacy, we talk about career awareness, and there's a self assessment test that they can take, and that basically give them an idea of their likes and dislikes and what they may be interested in as far as their career. We talk about the difference between a job versus a career because both of those are beneficial to any young adult who are our future leaders that are coming into the world.
So is this local where you are? Is it online? Is it in person? How does that program work?
So before the pandemic, I did several trainings. I've done them at my daughter's school, my the high school. I've done them at the library. I've done them also at my job. Different organizations in the community. I've met up with different leaders of those community organizations, like the YMCA, and I've been able to provide my training. Since the pandemic, I've been able to do these classes on Zoom primarily.
That's awesome. Now, I love the name of this other organization, Boots and Arms. That where'd that name come from? And let's hear about this organization.
So Boots and Arms, also another one of my babies. I love both of them. Boots and Arms is basically, this project came about from the Black community and the violence that we see so much. Because it's very important to me, because I love family. Family is very dear to me. And I always tell people we need to love each other more than we hurt each other. So that's the whole reason for Boots and Arms. He represents the man of his home and his community. He walks in integrity. He's a leader. He's not the person that he's telling you one way to live out in the public and living a total different lie inside of his home. So he's the provider. He's the head of his home. I like to look at him as the protector and the provider of his family. Arms represent your virtuous woman. So she's the one who, as women, we wear a lot of hats. A lot of us play a lot of different roles behind the scenes, but we also know our roles and we can be independent. But she's more of the virtuous woman who uses her arms to help build her home and community. So she inspires, she encourages, she loves, and she nurtures. She's not so much of an enabler, but she's there to encourage and support and upbuild her home and her community.
I love it. So how does that play out? Do you have meetings? Do you go out into the community outreach? Do you counsel families?
Absolutely. So the foundation behind Boots and Arms is mental health, and I always explain to people, well, if you can get the mental health, the healing that you need, then you can seek your freedom and your peace that you wanted. Because a lot of people don't realize that a lot of the trauma and the past hurts that we've experienced in our life, it all boils back to mental health. And once you get that healing, then you can be totally free. So a lot of my projects that I do go out in the communities. I'm looking to take this project national and global. So yes, I do go out into different communities. I travel from state to state, speaking with others and engaging others in the community to get involved, so that we can stop so much of the black on black crime, the violence, and begin to love one another and help each other up, build each other up in our communities instead of tearing each other down.
Well, definitely, and I'm a strong believer. It starts with mental health and dealing with trauma and resolving that. And I see more of that happening in the Black community, but a lot more still needs to take place. So we're glad
Absolutely.
that your organization is addressing those needs, because it does start with the family, and it really ends with the family and whatever that family looks like. Uh, Definitely to have those wounds healed and really to get yourself free. So I love that. Well, thank you for stopping by. But what do you got going on right now? How can people be involved if they want to get involved in your organizations, if they want to get involved in anything else you're doing, and what do you have upcoming?
Absolutely. So right now, we all know this is National's Women's History Month. So I have a few projects that I am working on here in Kansas City, as far as meeting with a couple of different organizations to promote those women of our history, and some of a new, like right now in the present day as well. I do have a podcast. And also, if anybody is interested in linking up or connecting with me, you can most definitely email me at bootsанdarms at gmail.com, and I can provide more information.
Well, we're going to keep a watch out. We're so happy to have you with us on EM-Spire, the place for entrepreneurs and motivators. And you're definitely both of those things, an entrepreneur and a motivator. So thank you for stopping by and sharing the wonderful work that you're doing. And have a marvelous day.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it. And you as well, okay? You have a beautiful day.